with a mighty oath, yea, just over and glorying. I have to do that because you still get nervous. Can sing in front of anybody, still can't talk in front of nobody. But I want to thank the committee that has created this great lectureship that is teaching the gospel and letting people know that there are still gospel preachers who are still in the word, living the word, believing the word, and teaching the word. I bring you greeting from Denver, Colorado. I didn't bring any of the air. I just bring you greeting. That was not funny. Okay. I'm sorry. It takes a while. You know, I'm used to the humidity. I haven't been in it in a while, and I don't know how y'all still stay here. Amen. And then I want to just thank my lovely wife and my mother-in-law for coming down from Denver with me to support me in this great work, this mighty work that is being done. And hopefully someone will be reached by the words that are being taught here and the word that is being taught here. So I just want to thank everyone for that. My topic is domineering over their faith or helping them stand by their faith. The verse is 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 23 through 24. And I want somebody to read that. Normally I read it because of the time constraint, but I'm not, my wife is really going to like this. I'm not going to be long-winded today. I have 3 pages, and I'm going to get through all them pages, so hopefully I give some time back. All right, 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 23 through 24, read.
Moreover,
I
call God for a record upon my soul.
Upon my soul, read.
That to spare you I came not as yet unto Corinth.
Stop right there. I spare you that I came no more to Corinth. What Paul is trying to say right here is that he slowed down his arrival to Corinth because he was upset. He's upset because of all the corruption that's going on in the church of Corinth. You've heard the things. The man that took another man's, his father's wife, and then the incest that was going on there, and then what people don't even understand, that prostitution was almost a religion in the city of Corinth. It was more than business. No, pimping wasn't there. It just had moved all over the city. So he's upset. He's established a congregation here, and nobody is doing what they're supposed to be doing. So he was accused of many things. He was accused of being afraid to show up. He was accused of being somebody who was in a position over them. So he was exerting his dominance over the congregation. How many times have ministers in their congregation been accused of being the boss, the head man in charge, the HNIC, if you know what that means? Some of them even take pride in the fact that they are being accused of those things. I've been to congregations where they don't have like seats off to the side. It's like little thrones up behind where they are, and they don't mind being given title of senior minister or pastor. Verse 24, read.
Not for that we have dominion
over your faith,
but are helpers of your joy.
Phrase right there. Paul is saying, I'm not here to boss you around. I'm not here to tell you what to do because I am over you. We are the same. We are in this situation together. I'm here to help. And a lot of times ministers get pushed out out of the situation because their reason for being there should be to help, but they get misconstrued in the situation. And sometimes people think that we are not there to help, that we're there to take over. We're going to get into it. And the rest of that verse reads, for by faith you stand.
By faith you stand.
Yes, sir. So, allied to the charge that Paul arbitrarily altered his travel plans regarding Corinth according to his personal whims and the mood at the moment, there was in all probability the accusation that by making an arbitrary change or delay to his visit to the church of Corinth, he had shown himself a spiritual dictator who tried to dominate the converts and dictate the terms of their faith. This is the reason that Paul changed his travel plans. And this was not for the opponents who tried to make him a prevaricator. A prevaricator is a person who speaks so to avoid the precise truth, or a person who speaks falsely, also known as a liar. That's what we get monikered as so many things. Yeah, you the boss, you the person in charge. You try to establish leadership. Because I have yet to meet a preacher who wants to do every job in the congregation. I do every job in the congregation. No, y'all not even feeling what I'm saying. I'm the minister, business administrator, secretary, webmaster, audio and visual person, the web designer, and sometimes song leader, the person that plays and does the sin on the table, depending on who or who isn't there. And I know I'm gonna get in trouble for this because Trey like to broadcast everything. We had a business meeting and one of the brothers come up to me and said, he looked at our salaries and he was like, "You make such and such money." And I looked at him and I said, "Son," and he was older than me. I said, "Son, I was a regional manager of a bank before I decided to come up here and do this work. I made $100,000 a year. My wife and I were building a house here in Texas. One day I told her I want to move to Denver and become a preacher and give up my money, give up this house, and we're going to go live in somebody else's house for 6 or 7 months." She asked me, "Are you high?" And I hadn't even made it to Denver yet. That sounds crazy, don't it? Who does that? But I did it. I went up there and I began to work and I began to see that the work was heavy. I also went up there for the wrong reason. I did, because in speaking about domineering over their faith, I can still say that I went for the wrong reason, because I left Fort Worth because I felt like I wasn't getting any respect. So I thought if I went up here, got these people in order, when I came back to Fort Worth, I was going to make them call me preacher. Went for the wrong reason. What God showed me in the job is that it ain't got nothing to do with big time dreams, driving Cadillacs, money. If you are a Church of Christ preacher and you thought you was going to get this for money, well then. Procrastination is usually condemned by those but there are times when a purposeful delay is a better course of action. Controversial issues and and developing problems often need a cooling off period. Paul recognized that he could not go right away because he's upset. People tend to think that preachers must walk above the people or must be otherworldly or something else because they don't think that we have emotion. They don't think we have feeling. That we don't get upset. You think I don't get upset? Ask Shonda if I don't get upset. When I get up on Sunday morning and I'm ready to go to worship and nobody's ready to go, I'm upset. I will leave them. She over there shaking, she know it. I will leave them and go to church upset. I have to sit in the office and calm down before I get in the pulpit because I'm going to preach angry. And then the people will be like, why was you mad at us today? It wasn't you I was mad at. Mad at the people in my house for making me late. But see, we have to be a little bit like Paul. We have to know that sometimes we have to delay our reaction before we make a response. Yeah, okay, preacher still ain't with me. Hold on. Let me give you Matthew chapter 23, verse 8 and 10. Matthew chapter 23, verse 8 through 10.
Be not called rabbi.
Be not called rabbi.
For one is your master.
For one is your master.
Even Christ.
Even Christ.
And all ye are brethren.
Say that again. All ye are brethren. We've talked about this on a lot of relationships that I've been on since I've been with you gentlemen. And I appreciate all the information that I've received from everybody. I'm young in this gospel. I know that word, that paper says I've been talking for 15 years, but I've only been in this position 4 years. So this is as much education for me as it was going to school, because I look at all of you all and I listen to all of you all and I've heard the message. We are all brethren. There is nobody above the other when we are here. If we are in the secular world and you have gone to school and you have taken time to take on a doctorate, a master's degree, something like that, I have no problem addressing you as such. But while we are here, while we are in this place, we have to look at each other as we are equal, because we are brethren. But you have congregations where you can't even approach the minister. Better not get close to him. His security that you didn't even know was there. They got the little things in their ear now. You can't talk to him today. You have to make an appointment. What? I don't get nothing like that. Before I got here today, I took 5 calls. I'm in a whole nother state. It behooves us to know that we are brethren and equal together in this work. That is the only way that we're going to repair the rift that has been put into the church of Christ. For some reason, being a mega church, being a large congregation, that is now the goal of some ministers. Instead of saving a soul, we are here arguing over things that do not matter. Meanwhile, nobody is getting saved. Nobody's getting baptized. You go to some of these congregations, they haven't baptized anybody in 10 years. But they're holding on to their 500 or 400 people or whatever. The work is what's important, and not dominating over your congregation. I told you I've been accused of being a dictator. I had somebody leave my congregation because she said I was dictating over the congregation. And I'm trying to control my congregation. 100 people. What am I doing with 100 people? I can't lead the 4 or 5 people in my house. We can't even come up on us. Right after Sunday, we want to just go eat. We should be able to pick a restaurant and go eat. to do that. My wife want to go here. My mother-in-law want to go here. My children want to go there. I want to sit down. I don't care where, I got doubt. I don't care where we go. I just want to sit down. So why would I want to try to control 100 people? If you hear me say, man, I know this ain't one that made me a servant, but I know that y'all have run into that problem at least once or twice. I don't have the benefit of having elders and deacons at my congregation, but that doesn't mean I'm not trying. Because I believe that a church is not run properly without the proper leadership. I don't think I'm supposed to be where I am for you to even mistake that I'm in charge. But when I'm supposed to be dictating and domineering over them, I try to create classes so that they can come and learn how to be these things to even see if they qualify. First thing in being a leader, you must desire the position. So I can't make them. Let you know right now I'm not their boss. If I was their boss, I could get them to come back to evening service. The rest of the verse says, do not call anyone on earth your father, for one is your Father who is in heaven. And do not be called teachers, for one is your teacher, which is Christ. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 2 through 3 says, shepherd the flock of God, which is among you, serving as overseers, not by compulsion, but willingly. Don't feel like you're in this position because you're being made to. You know, my daddy was a preacher, so I guess I got to be one. My daddy was a preacher. And let me say this right way because he might be right. He wanted me to be one. But in my 20s, I saw a different path. I did. And in my 20s, I took a different route. It's only by the grace of God and the mercy of God that I'm not dead or in jail or something else. I don't have a million kids out there. I didn't have none of that situation before I got married. When I married her, I had my own place and my own car. You know, she didn't have to take me in. You know, but I saw a different path. Now, when I got with her, I had all that. Now, my credit might have been below water. She had to help me with that. But once I got married and I started doing things the right way, I tried to redirect my life, and my father said, Nathan, you ain't even tried it. You've not even tried to be what we've tried to teach you to be your entire life. So I may have been compelled to try to be this by my family, but I came to the conclusion of it by myself because it had always been in me. And because it was in me, I didn't depart from it. I got a little ways from it, but I didn't depart from it. And then once I got into it, I realized I had a word to say. And because I had a word to say, I knew that somebody needed to hear that word in this day and time. In this day and time, there are those that say that religion is not necessary. So again, who are we dominating over? Most of the time, I find that preachers are catering, not dominating. They allow things in their congregation that they should not allow. They should not allow praise teams and ballet dancers and all this stuff to entertain their audience. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's what's big. We shouldn't be accused of dominating. If you are a situation where you have elders and deacons, sometimes the elders seem like they're the ones that are dominating over the preacher.
But see, I don't have it, so I don't have nobody to go back to. See, now, they will tell you what to do, how to do it, and when to do it, and who to do it to. And if you don't do that, one of my preaching friends right now, and if I said his name, y'all would know it. One of my preaching friends right now lost his job because he tried to correct somebody in the congregation. That person went to an elder in the congregation and they terminated him. That's it. He didn't do nothing wrong. He didn't mess with somebody in the church. He didn't steal no money. He tried to do some church discipline. Lost his whole job. Moved his whole family. And now has to move his whole family back. That is the detriment of being in a situation where dominance is actually in play. But what Peter is trying to say here is that we are to shepherd the flock. And we are supposed to lead the flock. And we're supposed to feed the flock. And we're supposed to guide the flock. We're not supposed to control the flock. A good preacher can take these scriptures and make them mean anything that he wants to. Especially if you don't read it in context. You cut it off at a certain place and tell people who don't study, and you know they don't. And you know they don't. You can control some people with these scriptures. Who's ever seen that movie, The Book of Eli? In The Book of Eli, the bad guy in the movie wants the Bible. Why does he want the Bible? Because the scriptures in the Bible, he thinks can control people's mind, but read a certain way, it can. How do you think you got all of these different religious organizations in the world? Somebody thought they could do it better. And I was trying to explain to somebody one day because he was like, why don't you come to my church? See, that's what he said because he thought he had a church. And I wanted to let him know, I said, I know a man who came down, saw that the way that everything was bad because only a certain people were going to heaven. And he said, that should not be. Everybody should have an opportunity to be able to go to heaven. And this man went about healing the sick, raising the dead, teaching the gospel, saying that Jew and Greek are the same. When the Pharisees heard this, they said, we can't have this. No, you messing with our establishment. Two, you messing with our money. We can't have this. So they killed him. They put him on a cross. They hung him between two thieves. And they let him stay there. Then they put him in a brawler tomb. And they let him stay there. All but death couldn't hold him. Because he rose on the third day. But listen to what I'm saying. He came down to offer us an opportunity to be saved. And for that they killed him. How disrespectful is it for you to think that you can design a situation that's better than what God designed? How disrespectful of that is that? And then to give it your name, to call it Lutheran, Martinism, Confucianism. How disrespectful is it of that? When I said that, he said, well, you know what? Maybe I need to leave my church. And I say that to say Peter in these scriptures is a changed man from the Gospels. His teaching is vastly different from what we had expected from him in the Gospel accounts. His teaching is also very different from that much taught, which is much taught of the leadership today, even in our circles. What I'm trying to say is that we can change. We don't have to be given labels of being bosses or kings or dominators or anything like that. We have to let our congregations know that we are there to serve. that we are there to work. Now we not work horses. We not work mules. We not there to be overworked. Who feel like they overworked? Praise God. And I know it's hard sometimes to let them know that you have cut off time. Our office hours are from 9 to 5. Is it? I don't know. I don't know. Lastly, 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8 through 9. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Resist him, steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same sufferings are experienced by your brotherhood. Ministers are called to lead, period. This is done by the insight of truth, love, and grace that God can share through the interpretation of his word. Paul's change or delay in his arrival to Corinth was not to lord over their faith, but a promise to work with them for their own growth and development. An elder, a deacon, or a minister must realize that he is a leader, not a dictator or a ruler of God's people. He must reject every temptation to use pressure or force. We have to not be able to try to use our position to try to create something that we need done. You know what I'm saying? You know, you need the ladies ministry to do better than what they're doing. You can't exert your position and force to get them to do something. And I'm just using that as an example because my wife said I do that all the time. I'm not using my ministerial position, baby. I'm using my husband position. She don't like that either, okay? Paul delayed his visit to Corinth until he was in a better state of mind. We just have to let our congregations know that we are just human. That's all. We just human. We here to work. We like to work. I don't know of a gospel preacher. I don't know of a Church of Christ preacher that is not happy to do the work. But I'm telling y'all, don't overwork them. Don't overuse them. We get burned out too. I was just telling Brother Gay, I want to go somewhere with them, but I don't want to think about none of this. Ain't that bad? That's bad. I don't want to think about nothing. I just want to sit in a chair and probably sleep. Because I don't think I've ever sleep before you. That's all I want. I was trying to what sabbatical. I want that. I want that word. I want a sabbatical. Somewhere in my contract it says I get one, they just haven't let me take it. Yes, sir. I'm actually done. That's really all that I want to say. That we just have to let people know that we are human. Our state of mind can be affected by the things that go on around us. And if we are honest with ourselves, we just want to let people know that we are not kings or leaders or dictators or anything like that. We are ministers of God, here with a mission to teach and preach the gospel of Christ, hoping that we can find one soul that we can save. Amen. Amen. Thank you for listening to me.
Amen. Appreciate it, Brother Elder. Excellent, excellent. I want to say, Brother Elder, don't you see your wife over there videotaping you? It will get replayed, brother. Amen. Yes. Okay, then what we're going to do, we're going to take a break. We have two more speakers, and also the Wi-Fi. Well, we want to ask everybody to cut, if you're using the church's Wi-Fi, then please cut it off, right? Please cut the church's Wi-Fi. If you're using the church's Wi-Fi, it's interfering, I believe, with the activities of our live stream.
The ladies are going to have their session.
Huh?
So the ladies are doing the break. The ladies are going to go back to their session.
Okay, the ladies are going to go back to their session. I didn't see it here. They're going to have a session starting at 3:25. At 3:25, the ladies will go over to their session. We're going to take a break. a couple of minutes. You need to go to the restroom, come back. A couple of minutes, about 3:23, and we're going to begin with our brother Rochelle, Dwayne Rochelle. He's going to be our first speaker, and our last speaker is going to be Richard Odom, our dear friend. Huh? What now? Oh, we're going to keep going? Okay, if you have to go, just go, but we're going to keep going. All right, okay. Okay, we're going to introduce our next speaker. Our next speaker has Brother Rochelle come down. Brother Dwayne Rochelle preaches for the East Main